Hey, what's up, coin enthusiasts? Today, I've got a story that'll make you want to grab every penny you find and start searching for treasure. I'm talking about a coin that's so rare, it could have you rolling in dough. The 2009 Lincoln 1 cent, but wait for it, without a mint mark. Sounds boring, right? Well, buckle up, because this little penny could actually be worth a cool $1.4 million. Yes, you heard me right, $1.4 million. Now, before you go raiding your piggy bank, let me explain how this coin went from med to mansion money. So, let's talk about the 2009 no mint mark Lincoln penny. At first glance, it looks just like any other penny. I mean, we've all seen millions of these things, right? You've probably got a couple laying around in your car's cup holder, in between the couch cushions, or even at the bottom of your laundry basket. Heck, I've found pennies in the weirdest places, like the microwave. Don't ask me how that happened. Now, most of these pennies are worth, well, a penny. But here's where things get juicy. In 2009, the US Mint was pumping out millions of pennies, and most of them had either a D or S mint mark on them, which showed where they were made, Denver or San Francisco. However, for reasons unknown, some 2009 pennies came out with no mint mark. These mystery pennies were mostly just, well, forgotten. But little did anyone know, this lack of a mint mark made them incredibly rare. And what do rare things have in common? That's right, they're worth a boatload of cash. Specifically, a penny without a mint mark from 2009 can sell for a ton of money if it's in good condition. And I'm talking a lot of money. Some have been sold for around $1.4 million at auctions. Now I know what you're thinking, but wait. How do I know if my penny is one of these mythical treasures? Great question, and I'm glad you asked. First off, you've got to check the condition. I mean, if your penny looks like it's been through 1,000 washes and seen its fair share of parking lot drama, it probably won't get you $1 million. But if it's in mint condition, or at least close to it, you're in luck. Next, check for that mint mark. If it's missing, congrats. You've got yourself a potential jackpot. But don't get too excited yet. You also need to make sure it's from 2009, preferably from one of the rarest years. And remember, condition is key. If it's shiny and crisp, you're talking about a premium price tag. And let me tell you, finding one of these in your change is like winning the lottery, but instead of getting a giant check, you get a tiny coin. But that tiny coin could buy you a mansion, a fancy car, or, a bunch of pizza. Whatever makes you happiest. But honestly, it's not just about the money. It's about the thrill of finding something rare. I mean, I once found a coin that I thought was super rare, only to realize it was just an old Canadian penny. But hey, that's part of the fun of coin collecting. Every penny you find could be worth something amazing. So, next time you're digging through that jar of change, or cleaning out your couch cushions, keep an eye out. You might be holding onto a gold mine, or should I say, a penny mine. Get it? I'm hilarious. Alright, enough with the dad jokes. Alright, coin collectors and treasure hunters, here's the deal. The 2009 no mint mark Lincoln penny is proof that sometimes, the most unexpected things can be worth way more than you thought. So, make sure you're paying attention to the pennies you find. They could turn out to be worth a fortune. And if you want more tips on coins that could make you a millionaire, or at least help you avoid spending money on a fake, make sure to hit that subscribe button. You won't want to miss out on all the tips and tricks for finding valuable coins in your change. Plus, I'm here for all your coin curiosities, and I promise, we'll have fun along the way. So, hit the bell, and I'll see you next time. Happy hunting! And may your pennies be worth more than you ever imagined. 1965 Lincoln penny with no mint mark could be worth, drumroll, please, a whopping $1.2 million? Yeah, you heard me right, $1.2 million. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's just a myth. Or, there's no way I've been tossing pennies worth that much. But stay with me, because this rare coin could be sitting in your pocket right now. And I'm going to tell you exactly how to spot it. First off, let's talk about what makes the 1965 no mint mark penny so special. Now, we're talking about pennies that were made in 1965, that's right, a few years ago. Okay, more like several decades ago, but still, it feels like yesterday, right? Now, in 1965, the US Mint made a slight shift in how they stamped pennies. Normally, they put a mint mark to show where the coin was made, a D for Denver, an S for San Francisco, and a P for Philadelphia. But here's where it gets interesting. For some unknown reason, a few of these 1965 pennies didn't have any mint mark at all. No D, no S, just a classic, Lincoln Memorial, on the back, and a little copper slice of history. These mint markless coins were supposed to have a mint mark, but they didn't. And that, my friends, is where the value comes in. Collectors and investors went wild for these rare pennies, and one of these elusive 1965 no mint mark pennies just sold for an eye-popping $1.2 million. Now, I know what you're thinking. How on earth did someone find this penny? Well, these rare coins are like hidden treasures. It's not something you're just going to stumble upon at your local convenience store, but if you've been hoarding pennies for decades, you might just get lucky. Here's a personal story for you. A while back, I went through an old shoebox of pennies my grandma handed down to me. Most of them were what you'd expect, worn out, some even covered in that weird greenish gunk. But there was this one penny that caught my eye. It had this strange, worn look and it didn't have a mint mark. I thought, could this be it? I did the whole magnifying glass thing, and nope, it was just a normal penny. Still, I was excited for a second, and let's be real, I felt like a treasure hunter. The excitement was real, even if the treasure wasn't. But I've got to say, the search for rare coins is what keeps it fun. And that's what I want to show you in this video. How to spot those rare pennies and understand why they're worth so much. Now, if you happen to find a 1965 penny with no mint mark, don't just toss it into your jar of loose change. Get it appraised. Even in lesser condition, these pennies could be worth a pretty penny, pun totally intended. And if it's in mint condition, you're looking at something that's pretty close to hitting the jackpot. Look for the year. First, it has to be from 1965. Check the date, and make sure it's clear. No blurry numbers allowed. Examine the mint mark area. Now, here's the big thing, no mint mark. That's the key. If you don't see a D or S after the 1965 date, you've got a potential winner. Condition is everything. A penny with sharp details and little to no wear will be worth way more than a beat-up one with scratches or discoloration. Now, even if your penny isn't worth $1 million, it could still be valuable. There are other rare varieties of the 1965 penny, so it's always worth checking. Sometimes the tiniest flaws, like a double die or a misstrike, can turn an ordinary penny into a collectible gem. Alright, so there you have it, folks. The 1965 no mint mark Lincoln penny, sitting in your change jar, could actually be worth a lot more than you think. And while finding one is a bit like finding a needle in a haystack, it's still totally possible. Now, I know this might not happen every day, but I bet you'll be checking your pennies a little more carefully from now on, right? Who knows? The next time you dig through that jar, you might just find the treasure of a lifetime. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on coins worth money, strategies on how to spot rare finds, and maybe even a few more humorous, hidden treasure stories, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We've got plenty more fun and informative content coming your way. 1968 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. That could make you rich. We're talking about a coin that's worth up to $1.3 million. Alright, let's break this down. The 1968 no mint mark Lincoln penny is one of those quirky little treasures that proves you really need to check your change. You see, most of us, when we find a penny from the 1960s, just toss it into a jar and forget about it. But not all pennies are created equal. In fact, this specific penny, with no mint mark, could be hiding a secret worth a fortune. But first, let's go over a little history. In 1968, the U.S. Mint made Lincoln pennies in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Now, if you look at most pennies from that year, you'll see a mint mark, either a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But a 1968 penny with no mint mark? That means it was minted in Philadelphia, where they made the regular run of pennies. Here's where it gets interesting. Normally, no mint mark coins from Philadelphia are worth face value, but in 1968, something went a little haywire. There was a small batch of pennies that were unintentionally struck with an error, and these rare pennies made their way into circulation. Turns out, not only are they rare, they're incredibly sought after by collectors. The 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is one of the most valuable pennies you could find, with some of them reaching up to $1.3 million. You're probably wondering, how the heck do I know if I've got one of these million-dollar beauties? Good question. Here's the deal. You need to pay attention to a few key factors. First, the condition is crucial. A penny in poor condition might only be worth a few bucks, but if you have a well-preserved one, especially one with sharp details and little to no wear, that's when things get exciting. Look for those distinctive features on Lincoln's profile, and check for any strange marks, doubling, or die errors. Okay, story time. So, a couple of years ago, I was digging through my change jar, you know, the one that's always collecting dust in the corner of your room, and I pulled out this old, beat-up penny. I didn't think much of it, but I decided to Google the year just for kicks. Guess what? It was a 1968 no-mint mark. At first, I thought I had hit the jackpot, until I realized the penny was all scratched up and definitely not in mint condition. But hey, a guy can dream, right? So, here's the moral of that story. You can't win if you don't check? Always check your coins. You never know what might be hiding in that pocket change of yours. Alright, coin enthusiasts, now that you're in the know about the 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny and its million-dollar potential, here's the thing. This is a perfect example of why you should always keep your eyes peeled for rare coins. And trust me, if you've got an old penny sitting in a drawer somewhere, it's worth checking out. Who knows? You could be sitting on a small fortune. If you're as excited about rare coins as I am, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more tips and tricks about valuable coins. I'll be covering more hidden gems in the coin world, and you won't want to miss any of it. 1971 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. You may have one in your collection, or even found it tucked away in a jar of spare change. But did you know this coin could potentially be worth far more than just 1 cent? Let's explore the history, unique characteristics, and the current market value of the 1971 Lincoln penny, and see if it could be worth a lot more than you ever expected. First, let's take a look at the 1971 Lincoln penny. This particular coin was struck at the San Francisco Mint, which is indicated by the S mint mark just below the date on the obverse front side. The 1971 penny is part of the Lincoln cent series, which has been in production since 1909, and it features the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front, designed by Victor David Brenner. The reverse side of this penny is the classic design of the Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of the United States national heritage, designed by Frank Gasparo. The 1971 penny, like many other coins from this period, was minted with a copper composition, which was the standard at the time. Now, let's talk about what makes the 1971 penny so special in the world of numismatics. The S mint mark, as we mentioned, is important because it indicates the coin was minted at the San Francisco Mint, which was primarily used for proof coin production during this time. However, the 1971 penny was part of a regular circulation strike, making it a bit rarer compared to other coins minted that year. While millions of 1971 pennies were produced, the ones that are in top-notch condition, particularly those with a high level of detail and minimal wear, are what collectors are really after. Coins that have been kept in excellent condition, like those graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, are worth far more than those in typical circulated condition. So, how much is a 1971 penny worth today? Well, the value depends largely on the coin's condition, also known as its grade. In the most common circulated grades, you'll find this coin is worth only a small premium over face value, perhaps around 5 to 10 cents. That's not much to get excited about. However, if you have a coin in gem uncirculated condition, meaning it's in pristine, like new shape, its value can skyrocket. Coins graded MS-65 or higher have been known to fetch between $5 and $10, sometimes even more, depending on the demand at auction. But here's where things get even more interesting. A 1971 S penny with a perfect grade, such as MS-67 or MS-68, could see its value increase significantly, sometimes reaching up to $50 to $100 or more. In rare cases, if you happen to find one with a unique feature like a double die or other minting error, you could be looking at thousands of dollars. Now, I know what you're thinking. Could a 1971 S penny ever be worth $1 million? While it's highly unlikely for this specific coin to reach that level, the market for rare and high-quality Lincoln pennies is growing every year. Coin collectors are always on the lookout for pieces that are not only in great condition but also have some unique historical significance. For example, there have been other Lincoln pennies from different years, with mint errors or unique characteristics, that have reached extraordinary prices in the millions. While the 1971 S penny isn't likely to hit those record-breaking figures, the market for these coins continues to evolve, and you never know what could happen in the future. If you think you have a 1971 S penny that might be worth more than face value, it's crucial to get it professionally graded by a service like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC. They will assess the condition and assign a grade that will help determine its market value. And if you're new to coin collecting, always make sure to store your coins properly. Use protective holders or albums to keep them safe from damage and avoid cleaning them, as this can reduce their value. Keep your eye out for those rare errors or minting anomalies that can make your coin a hidden treasure. So there you have it, folks. The 1971 S Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny may not be worth $1 million, but with the right condition and some luck, it could still be worth a pretty penny. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, remember that every coin has a story to tell, and who knows, you might just have a future treasure in your collection. 1978 Lincoln 1-cent penny. This particular penny, despite its relatively simple appearance, can actually be worth far more than you might expect. We'll explore the current market value, the factors that determine its worth, and why this penny might be sitting in your collection, waiting to be discovered as a valuable asset. Let's start by discussing the basics of this coin. The 1978 Lincoln penny is part of the larger series of pennies produced by the United States Mint, which feature Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and a shield on the reverse. However, what sets the 1978 Lincoln penny apart from the more common ones is its potential rarity and the condition it is in. The 1978 penny, like most circulating coins, was minted in large quantities. Still, certain factors can make some of them highly valuable today. Now, let's focus on the most important thing: the current market value of a 1978 no-mint mark penny. Typically, a regular 1978 Lincoln penny in average circulated condition is worth just 1 cent. But what about those in pristine condition? Coins like these are often referred to as being in mint state, and they can fetch significantly higher prices on the market. If you happen to come across a 1978 Lincoln penny that has been well preserved or shows a unique characteristic, like a slight error in the minting process, you may have a coin worth far more than just 1 cent. The market value of a 1978 Lincoln penny in excellent condition could range anywhere from a few dollars to upwards of $100, depending on the specific attributes it possesses. But the real treasure lies in certain error coins or those that have been professionally graded as being in near perfect or uncirculated condition. One of the rarest and most valuable variations of the 1978 Lincoln penny is one that has been graded MS-67 or higher. Coins with such a high grade can command prices ranging from hundreds to even thousands of dollars, especially if they've been authenticated by a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. What makes these pennies so valuable? Well, it all boils down to rarity, demand, and condition. A penny that was minted decades ago might seem like a small token, but when it is well preserved and holds unique characteristics, like an off-center strike, a double die, or another form of error, it can become a highly sought-after item in the coin collecting world. Collectors look for these unique traits because they add to the rarity and historical value of the coin. But here's the big question: Could the 1978 Lincoln penny ever be worth $1 million? While that may sound far-fetched at first, it's not entirely out of the realm of possibility. Coins like this, especially those that feature minting errors or those in exceptional condition, can gain immense value over time. As more collectors join the hobby and demand for rare and high-quality coins increases, certain examples can skyrocket in price. However, it's important to note that reaching $1 million value is incredibly rare. Coins that do reach that kind of value are typically from earlier years, such as the 1909 SVDB penny, which is considered one of the holy grails of coin collecting. But in the right market conditions, with the right collector looking for that perfect 1978 Lincoln penny, a significant premium could certainly be paid. So, what should you do if you think you've found a valuable 1978 Lincoln penny? First, inspect the coin closely. Look for any signs of wear, scratches, or unique errors. If the coin seems to be in great condition and you suspect it might be worth more than face value, consider having it professionally graded. Grading services will assess the condition of your coin and assign it a grade, which directly affects its market value. Additionally, consider reaching out to reputable dealers or auction houses who specialize in rare coins. These experts can help you determine if your 1978 penny is truly a hidden gem and guide you through the process of selling or trading it for its maximum value. In conclusion, while most 1978 Lincoln pennies are worth just 1 cent, a well-preserved or error-struck penny from this year can be a valuable asset for coin collectors. From a few dollars to potentially thousands of dollars for coins in excellent condition, the value of these pennies depends heavily on their rarity, condition, and any unique characteristics they may possess. Keep an eye out for those special coins in your collection. You never know when you might have one that could be worth far more than its face value. Remember to check for any minting errors, get your coins graded, and always stay informed about the market trends in the world of numismatics. 1979 Lincoln 1-cent penny, particularly the one without a mint mark. This seemingly simple coin could actually hold significant value, and you might be sitting on a small fortune without even knowing it. So, grab your magnifying glass, and let's explore the 1979 Lincoln penny, its history, its unique features, and why it might be worth millions of dollars in the market today. The 1979 Lincoln penny is a coin that carries the legacy of one of the most iconic figures in American history, Abraham Lincoln. The coin features the famous portrait of Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner. However, what makes the 1979 penny so special is the absence of a mint mark, which can significantly affect its value. If you're not familiar with mint marks, they are small letters on coins that indicate where they were produced, a D for Denver, an S for San Francisco, and no mint mark for coins produced in Philadelphia. Most pennies from 1979 feature a mint mark, but some rare coins from this year were struck at the Philadelphia Mint without one. So, why does this absence of a mint mark make the 1979 penny so intriguing to collectors? Well, it all comes down to rarity. While it might seem like a minor detail, this lack of a mint mark on certain 1979 pennies makes them a rare find. In fact, the 1979 no-mint mark Lincoln pennies have been a topic of interest for many years, and over time, their value has been steadily increasing. This rare variation is sought after by coin collectors who are looking for unique and scarce pieces to add to their collections. Now, let's talk about the market value of this coin. A typical 1979 Lincoln penny with no mint mark in average condition may be worth only a few cents above its face value. However, in high-grade condition, especially those graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, the value can skyrocket. A well-preserved example in uncirculated condition or one with rare features like double dies or misstrikes can fetch a significantly higher price at auction. Some of these pennies, particularly those in gem uncirculated condition or with special characteristics, have been known to sell for hundreds of dollars, and in some cases, even thousands. But here's where things get really interesting. Certain 1979 no-mint mark pennies have been sold for staggering amounts, sometimes reaching into the millions of dollars, depending on the rarity of the coin, its condition, and demand from serious collectors. For example, A 1979 penny that is graded as MS67 by PCGS could easily be worth anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000, while one with additional unique errors or rare qualities can bring in much more. The record for a particularly well-preserved 1979 penny could go up to $1 million or even more when considering factors like auction competition and rarity. But why the dramatic fluctuation in prices? The answer lies in the collector market. Like with any collectible, rarity and condition are key factors in determining value. The better preserved the coin, the higher its worth will be. Professional grading services play a huge role in determining this value, and it's crucial to get your coin graded if you think you've found a rare 1979 no-mint mark penny. Grading will provide a clear assessment of the coin's condition and its potential value in the market. Another reason the 1979 penny without a mint mark holds such intrigue is the ongoing speculation and interest in finding additional unique variations of the coin. Coin collectors are constantly searching for coins with imperfections, such as die cracks, off-center strikes, or double strikes. If your 1979 penny happens to have one of these rare characteristics, its value could increase exponentially, bringing in even more money from collectors who are eager to add these rare pieces to their collections. While it's tempting to think that your 1979 penny could be worth millions, it's important to note that only a small percentage of these coins are truly valuable. Most 1979 pennies without a mint mark are not worth more than their face value unless they are in excellent condition or have some kind of rare feature. So, it's essential to carefully inspect your coin, possibly get it professionally graded, and see if it has any unique features that could increase its worth. To summarize, the 1979 Lincoln penny without a mint mark is a fascinating coin with the potential to fetch incredible amounts of money, especially if it's in excellent condition or has some rare features. While most of these coins may be worth just a few dollars, others can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. And in the rarest cases, depending on the coin's characteristics, it's possible that a 1979 penny could sell for millions in the right market conditions. So, if you have one of these coins in your collection, it might just be worth getting it appraised by a professional. You never know, you might be holding on to a rare treasure. 1979 The Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. This penny, minted at the Denver Mint, holds more value than what you might expect from a typical penny. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, this video will give you all the details on why this coin is so fascinating, and why it might just be worth a lot more than its face value. The 1979 D Lincoln penny is part of the popular Lincoln cent series, which has been in circulation since 1909. These coins feature the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. The reverse side shows the Lincoln Memorial, which became the standard design for the penny from 1959 until 2008, after which the design was updated to honor Lincoln's 200th birthday. What makes the 1979 D penny stand out is its specific minting year and the Denver Mint mark. The D Mint mark indicates that this penny was struck at the Denver Mint, which is one of the primary minting facilities for U.S. coins. At first glance, the 1979 D penny might seem like just another regular coin. But if you're looking for rare and collectible pennies, you'll need to pay close attention to a few specific characteristics of the 1979 D penny that could make it worth much more than just 1 cent. As with many rare coins, one of the primary factors that drives up the value of the 1979 D penny is the presence of minting errors. These are coins that were mistakenly struck in a way that deviates from the intended design. Some 1979 D pennies may have notable errors such as double die strikes, where the design is imprinted multiple times, causing a blurry or uneven image. These errors make the coin much rarer and more valuable to collectors. Just like with any collectible, the condition of the 1979 D penny significantly affects its value. Coins that are in pristine condition, known as uncirculated or gem condition, can fetch much higher prices than those that are worn down or have visible damage. Coins with a grade of MS65 or higher could be worth hundreds of dollars, while those with lower grades may still hold some value, but not as much. While the 1979 D penny was minted in large numbers, over 5 billion were produced, the surviving coins in pristine condition or with errors are relatively scarce. This scarcity makes these coins more attractive to collectors, driving up their demand and value in the market. So, what is the 1979 D Lincoln penny worth today? The answer depends on its condition, rarity, and whether it has any minting errors. Here's a breakdown of the general market value. If your 1979 D penny is in circulation or has been worn down over time, it's typically worth around its face value, or slightly more. These coins can be found for around 1 to 2 cents, but they don't hold much collector value unless they have a specific mint error. If you have an uncirculated 1979 D penny in excellent condition, the value can be significantly higher. Depending on the grade, these coins could range from $10 to $50, with higher-end uncirculated examples fetching even more. In the highest grades, you could see prices approaching $100 or more for a perfect coin. Coins that feature rare minting errors, like double die strikes or off-center designs, can be worth much more. A 1979 D penny with a double die obverse or reverse can fetch anywhere from $100 to several $1,000s, depending on the error's severity and the coin's condition. For example, some minting errors on high-grade coins have been known to sell for upwards of $5,000 or even more at auctions. The absolute rarest versions of the 1979 D Lincoln penny, such as those with a significant double die error or other major variations, could potentially reach into the millions of dollars. While this is extremely rare, it shows the incredible potential value that certain variations of this coin can hold. To spot a valuable 1979 D Lincoln penny, you'll need to be on the lookout for certain features. One of the most common errors found in the 1979 D penny is the double die strike, where the coin was struck multiple times, creating a blurry, ghosted image on the design. The most notable double die errors are found on the obverse, where Lincoln's features, the date, and the motto, "In God We Trust," can show signs of doubling. As previously mentioned, the condition of the coin is essential to its value. Look for a coin that is shiny, has no signs of wear, and has sharp, clear details. If the penny has any signs of being worn down, scratched, or damaged, its value will drop significantly. If you're unsure about the value of your 1979 D penny, it's always a good idea to consult with a coin expert or professional grader. They can help determine whether your coin has any special features that could make it more valuable. The 1979 D Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny is a fascinating coin, with potential value far beyond its 1-cent denomination. Whether it's a simple circulated penny or one with a rare minting error, this coin can offer significant value to collectors. The condition, rarity, and any minting errors are key factors that influence its worth in the current market. 1988 Lincoln 1-cent penny coin, one of the most intriguing coins in the modern American numismatic world. You've probably come across this coin in your collection, but did you know that it could be worth far more than its face value? Stick around as we explore the current market value and why certain 1988 pennies could be worth millions of dollars. First, let's quickly go over the basics of the 1988 Lincoln 1-cent penny. Minted in the United States, this coin features the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, which has appeared on the obverse of the penny since 1909. The reverse of the coin features the Lincoln Memorial, which was used on the penny from 1959 until 2008. Most 1988 pennies you'll encounter are fairly common, with a large mintage produced that year. But there's more to this penny than just its design. As with any coin, what makes it valuable isn't just the year it was minted, but also its condition, any potential errors, and its rarity. Typically, a regular 1988 penny in circulated condition is worth only its face value, which is 1 cent. If you have one that's in good condition and hasn't been affected by wear and tear, it may be worth slightly more, especially if it's well preserved. However, we're just scratching the surface here. The standard 1988 penny that was minted in huge numbers is not particularly rare. The US Mint struck over 10 billion pennies that year, which means they're relatively easy to find. So, what makes a 1988 penny worth significantly more? The value of your 1988 penny can drastically change if it has certain characteristics. Let's look at the key factors that can drive the price up: condition and grade. A penny that is well preserved in uncirculated condition, graded MS65 or higher, could see a much higher value. In fact, if you find a 1988 penny that is in mint condition, it could fetch anywhere from 10 to 50 cents in the right market. Mint errors. Now, here's where things get really interesting. Coins with minting errors are a hot commodity among collectors. For example, the 1988 penny with doubled dies, missing letters, or other abnormalities is far more valuable. Such errors occur when the coin dies, used to stamp the coin, malfunction during the minting process, and this can lead to double strikes, incorrect lettering, or other visual discrepancies that make the coin stand out. The most valuable error for the 1988 penny would be a double die obverse, DDO, where the details on the obverse of the penny are doubled. If you have one of these, especially if it's in pristine condition, you could be looking at a price tag in the hundreds or even thousands of dollars, rare variants and special mint marks. While the 1988 penny is commonly found with no mint mark, which means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the rarity of a coin can increase dramatically based on its minting details. Sometimes, an error in the minting process, such as a missing or incorrect mint mark, can cause a coin to stand out and fetch a higher price. Though, for the 1988 penny specifically, a coin with no mint mark would still not be extremely rare, but it could have more value depending on the condition and any associated errors. So, if you're hoping to sell your 1988 penny, what's it worth in the market right now? Let's break down some potential values based on different conditions. Standard circulated condition. If your 1988 penny has been circulated and shows signs of wear, it will typically hold little value, usually only 1 cent. Uncirculated 1988 penny. An uncirculated penny in excellent condition could be worth anywhere between 10 to 50 cents, depending on its grade. 1988 double die penny. If you're lucky enough to have a 1988 penny with a double die error, prices can start in the hundreds of dollars. Some high-quality double-die coins can go for as much as $1,000 or more, depending on demand and condition. Mint errors or rarity variants. Depending on the type of error or variant, you could see pennies go for a few $100s, with the rarest varieties potentially exceeding $5,000 if they're in top condition. Now, are there any 1988 pennies that are worth $1 million? That's a bit of a stretch, as even the most valuable 1988 pennies with errors generally top out in the lower thousands. However, rare and highly sought-after varieties do occasionally see bidding wars, and in exceptional cases, they could fetch prices higher than expected. If you think you've found a valuable 1988 penny, your next step is to have it professionally graded and authenticated. This will help confirm its condition and any potential errors. Once graded, you can sell your coin through auction houses, online marketplaces, or specialized coin dealers who cater to collectors. Keep in mind, while the 1988 penny may not be worth $1 million, some rare mint errors and high-condition pieces do command significant prices in the market. In conclusion, while the 1988 Lincoln penny is generally not worth millions of dollars, it still holds value for collectors, especially if it has certain minting errors or is in pristine, uncirculated condition. Whether you have a penny in average condition or a rare error coin, the key is to know what to look for and how to properly evaluate it. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, share it with your fellow coin collectors, and don't forget to subscribe for more coin-related content. If you have a 1988 penny in your collection, take a closer look. You might just be sitting on a small fortune. 1991 No Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln 1 cent penny coin. This penny might just be worth way more than its face value, potentially even in the millions of dollars. So, let's dive deep into the history, features, and current market value of this highly sought-after coin. First, let's take a closer look at the 1991 No Mint Mark Lincoln penny. The U.S. Mint typically places a mint mark on coins to indicate which facility they were struck at. The mint mark is usually located on the obverse side of the coin, near the date. However, this particular 1991 penny, which was minted in Philadelphia, doesn't have a mint mark. The reason this is significant is because Philadelphia has historically minted coins without any mark, making certain years and coins from this mint very rare. The 1991 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is one of these exceptional coins. It's not just any ordinary penny, it stands out due to its rarity, its potential for errors, and the growing interest in rare and unique coins. Now, you might be wondering, why is this coin so special, and what makes it so valuable? Well, let's take a step back and understand why the 1991 Lincoln penny, without the mint mark, has become a sought-after collector's item. In general, pennies from the early 1990s are often overlooked by most collectors because they were produced in such high quantities. But that's exactly where the beauty of this specific coin comes in. While the 1991 Lincoln penny is not necessarily rare in terms of overall mintage, finding one without a mint mark is rare, and collectors have been increasingly interested in these types of errors. Plus, coins like the 1991 no mint mark penny are part of a larger trend of unique, forgotten pieces of history that coin enthusiasts are willing to pay top dollar for. So, what is this coin worth today? Well, to answer that, let's break it down. As of now, the 1991 no mint mark penny typically isn't worth much at face value, about 1 cent. However, if the coin has been preserved in exceptional condition or has specific errors, the price could be much higher. For example, a 1991 no mint mark penny in mint state, meaning it is in pristine, uncirculated condition, can fetch anywhere between $1 and $3, but this can increase depending on the coin's quality, rarity, and demand. Some collectors may pay more for examples in near-perfect condition. Now, here's where things get interesting. A rare variety of the 1991 no mint mark penny, one that might feature an error, such as a doubled die or other unique misprints, can push the value to extraordinary levels. We're talking about tens or even hundreds of dollars for certain versions of this penny. But that's just the start of its potential worth. Let's go even further. There are rumors circulating among some collectors and experts that under certain circumstances, these coins could command values in the millions, but it would depend on the rarity of the minting error and the specific details of the coin in question. Some highly rare, error-filled coins from the 1990s, especially those with significant flaws, have been known to sell for astronomical prices, often reaching the millions when found in perfect condition and with strong provenance. However, while million-dollar sales are still a rarity for most common coins like the 1991 no mint mark penny, it is definitely possible for them to rise in value over time. In fact, there have been records of mint-condition coins like these being auctioned for a lot more than anticipated, based on demand in the coin-collecting community. You might be wondering how you can determine if your 1991 no mint mark penny is worth a small fortune. The first thing you should do is check its condition. A coin's grade is extremely important when determining its value. Coins in mint state, graded MS65 and above, will be worth more than those that have wear and tear, discoloration, or significant damage. Also, keep an eye out for any errors or unique features. Is there any noticeable doubling in the inscription or other strange markings? These types of errors can make a coin significantly more valuable to collectors. If you believe you've found a rare or valuable coin, it's always a good idea to have it professionally graded by a trusted third party, such as the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. These organizations can authenticate the coin and assign it a grade, which is key in determining its true market value. If you've got a 1991 no mint mark penny, and you think it might be worth more than just a few cents, you may be wondering how to sell it. There are several ways you can do this. One option is to approach a local coin dealer or coin shop. Another option is to auction it through an online platform like eBay, where many rare coin collectors actively browse for rare finds. You could also consider selling through larger auction houses that specialize in rare coins, like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers. They tend to attract a more niche audience of serious collectors, and they may help you get the best price for your coin. So, there you have it. The 1991 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny is a rare and intriguing piece of American coinage. While the market for these coins varies, they have the potential to be worth far more than their face value, especially if they're in excellent condition or feature rare errors. Though it might not fetch millions yet, the value of rare coins, especially ones like the 1991 no-mint mark penny, can increase over time as the demand for unique pieces grows. If you happen to have one of these pennies, now is the time to take a closer look at it. You could be holding on to a hidden gem. 1993 D Lincoln Penny. This coin, while often dismissed as a regular penny, actually holds significant value in specific conditions. We'll explore its history, how it came into circulation, and most importantly, its market value today, which, believe it or not, can reach impressive amounts. If you've come across a 1993 D Lincoln penny, stick around because you might be holding onto a valuable piece of history that could be worth much more than its face value. Let's start with a bit of background. The 1993 D Lincoln penny was minted at the Denver Mint. It features the classic Abraham Lincoln design, with President Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. This design was used from 1959 up until 2008, with very few changes over the decades. The 1993 D penny itself was produced in massive quantities. More than 5 billion were made, which means you might think it's just another common coin. So, why are we talking about the 1993 D penny today, especially when it seems like a regular coin from the 90s? Well, like many coins, some 1993 D pennies were struck with errors, and these can dramatically affect the value. For example, coins that feature noticeable minting errors, such as double strikes, off-center designs, or even misaligned dies, are the ones that bring in big money. These errors are rare, and it's exactly why some 1993 D pennies could be worth far more than their face value of 1 cent. Now, let's talk about the market value. As you might expect, the vast majority of 1993 D pennies you come across are going to be worth just a penny, unless they've been preserved in pristine condition. Most regular, circulated examples won't fetch more than a few cents. However, if you happen to find a 1993 D Lincoln penny in unblemished mint state, meaning it's in gem condition, it could be worth around $1 to $3. Not much, right? But hold on, we're just getting started. Now, here's where it gets really fascinating. There are stories of 1993 D pennies that have sold for thousands, or even millions of dollars at auction. These are usually unique, one-of-a-kind coins with rare errors or extraordinary features that make them stand out. For instance, a 1993 D penny with a significant error, such as a double die or a misplaced mint mark, could end up in the millions. You're probably wondering, how can you tell if your 1993 D penny could be worth thousands or even millions? Well, here are a few things to look for. This occurs when the coin's design is struck more than once, causing the features to overlap or appear doubled. If your penny shows clear signs of a double die, especially around Lincoln's eyes or the lettering, it could be valuable. A coin that isn't properly aligned during the minting process can become off-center. If you notice that the coin's features are misaligned, that could signal a rare strike error. If your coin has strange markings or designs where they shouldn't be, like an extra image of the reverse side, that's a clue that the dies used to strike the penny were misaligned or damaged. Even without minting errors, a 1993 D penny in near-perfect condition, graded MS65 or higher by a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC, can be worth hundreds, or sometimes even more depending on demand. Now, let's talk about the real showstopper here, the truly rare coins. A 1993 D penny with a rare mint error, like a double die or major misstriking, can reach values well into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. In some instances, rare examples of error pennies have been sold at auctions for upwards of $1 million. While these rare finds are incredibly scarce, it's proof that the 1993 D penny isn't just a common coin. It's one that could be worth a fortune if you happen to have a particularly valuable one in your collection. If you think you might have a rare 1993 D penny, or you've found one that's in outstanding condition, getting it appraised is your next step. The best places to get an accurate valuation would be through professional grading services or at trusted numismatic auction houses. Websites like eBay and professional coin auction sites often list rare error coins, and they can give you a ballpark estimate of your penny's worth. So, to wrap up, the 1993 D Lincoln penny might seem like a regular cent, but certain error coins are incredibly rare and can be worth thousands, even millions, of dollars. If you've got one of these rare pieces, you might just have a valuable investment on your hands. 2000 No Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. You might be wondering why this penny, which is technically part of the 2000 series of regular circulating coins, could be worth millions of dollars. Well, in this video, we'll break down exactly why this coin stands out in the world of numismatics and why it's commanding such high prices in the market. So, let's get started. At first glance, the 2000 No Mint Mark penny might just look like any other regular penny. However, this coin is part of a select group that has become increasingly valuable due to its rarity. The penny features the classic design of Abraham Lincoln, who has been the face of the U.S. 1-cent coin since 1909. On the obverse, you'll find Lincoln's portrait, designed by Victor David Brenner, while the reverse features the familiar shield of the Lincoln Memorial. But what makes this coin so special is that it has no mint mark. Normally, U.S. pennies feature mint marks that indicate where they were produced. Coins struck in Philadelphia typically don't have a mint mark, while coins struck in Denver or San Francisco would have their respective mint marks. So, why is the 2000 penny without a mint mark such a big deal? Let's talk about the mystery that surrounds this coin. The U.S. Mint accidentally produced a number of 2000 Lincoln pennies at their Philadelphia facility without placing the usual P mint mark. These coins should have carried a P to indicate they were minted in Philadelphia, but a few somehow slipped through without it. This error wasn't spotted right away, and many of these coins ended up circulating in the public. Over time, collectors began noticing this anomaly, and as the word spread, the demand for the 2000 No Mint Mark penny grew. It became a rarity that was no longer a simple coin from a typical year, but rather a valuable mistake, a perfect example of how errors in coin production can significantly increase a coin's worth. The value of a coin like the 2000 No Mint Mark penny depends on a number of factors. First, there's the rarity. Even though it might seem like a small detail, the absence of the mint mark makes this coin unusual and highly sought after by collectors. Mistakes like these are rare, and the less common a coin is, the more valuable it becomes. Now, let's talk about condition. Like with any coin, the condition of the penny plays a major role in its value. A 2000 No Mint Mark penny that is in mint condition can fetch a much higher price compared to one that has been heavily circulated. Coins in uncirculated condition are considered more valuable because they retain their original features without wear or damage. So, what's the current market value of this elusive coin? If you're lucky enough to own a 2000 No Mint Mark penny in great condition, it could be worth anywhere from a few $100s to several $1,000s. However, the most exceptional pieces, especially those in near-perfect uncirculated condition, have been known to fetch tens of thousands of dollars at auction. And in some rare cases, coins that have been authenticated as mint state can be worth even more. It's important to note that while these values are impressive, the actual worth of a coin depends on factors like its grade, provenance, and the current demand within the collector community. Coin values fluctuate over time, so what's worth a few $1,000s today could potentially increase in value in the future as the coin becomes even rarer. Can this penny ever be worth $1 million? While it's unlikely that the 2000 No Mint Mark penny will hit the $1 million mark anytime soon, there have been instances where coins with similar errors have sold for incredibly high prices. Coins like the 1913 Liberty Head nickel and the 1943 copper penny, both of which were produced as errors, have sold for millions of dollars at auction. However, the 2000 No Mint Mark penny would need to meet certain criteria, such as being in mint-perfect condition, having a proven rarity beyond the usual error coins, and being in high demand among collectors, to even come close to such an astronomical value. But for now, it's safe to say that you might not find one of these pennies priced that high unless something extraordinary happens in the numismatic world. If you're out there looking for the 2000 No Mint Mark penny, there are a few tips you can use to identify it. First, examine the obverse side of the coin. Look for the absence of the P mint mark under Abraham Lincoln's shoulder. Keep in mind that most 2000 pennies from Philadelphia will have the P mint mark, so if you find one without it, you may have an extremely valuable coin on your hands. It's also important to check the coin's condition. While even a circulated 2000 No Mint Mark penny can be worth something, the higher the grade, the more you can expect to make from selling or trading the coin. So there you have it. The 2000 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny is much more than just a regular penny from the year 2000. It's a rare and valuable era coin that has captured the interest of collectors, and depending on its condition, it can be worth thousands of dollars. While it's unlikely to reach the $1 million range anytime soon, it's certainly a coin worth keeping an eye out for if you're a coin enthusiast. If you enjoyed learning about this rare coin, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into rare and valuable coins. And, as always, happy collecting! 2000 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. You might be wondering why this penny, which is technically part of the 2000 series of regular circulating coins, could be worth millions of dollars. Well, in this video, we'll break down exactly why this coin stands out in the world of numismatics and why it's commanding such high prices in the market. So, let's get started. At first glance, the 2000 no-mint mark penny might just look like any other regular penny. However, this coin is part of a select group that has become increasingly valuable due to its rarity. The penny features the classic design of Abraham Lincoln, who has been the face of the U.S. 1-cent coin since 1909. On the obverse, you'll find Lincoln's portrait, designed by Victor David Brenner, while the reverse features the familiar shield of the Lincoln Memorial. But what makes this coin so special is that it has no mint mark. Normally, U.S. pennies feature mint marks that indicate where they were produced. Coins struck in Philadelphia typically don't have a mint mark, while coins struck in Denver or San Francisco would have their respective mint marks. So, why is the 2000 penny without a mint mark such a big deal? Let's talk about the mystery that surrounds this coin. The U.S. Mint accidentally produced a number of 2000 Lincoln pennies at their Philadelphia facility without placing the usual P mint mark. These coins should have carried a P to indicate they were minted in Philadelphia, but a few somehow slipped through without it. This error wasn't spotted right away, and many of these coins ended up circulating in the public. Over time, collectors began noticing this anomaly, and as the word spread, the demand for the 2000 no-mint mark penny grew. It became a rarity that was no longer a simple coin from a typical year, but rather a valuable mistake. A perfect example of how errors in coin production can significantly increase a coin's worth. The value of a coin like the 2000 no-mint mark penny depends on a number of factors. First, there's the rarity. Even though it might seem like a small detail, the absence of the mint mark makes this coin unusual and highly sought after by collectors. Mistakes like these are rare, and the less common a coin is, the more valuable it becomes. Now, let's talk about condition. Like with any coin, the condition of the penny plays a major role in its value. A 2000 no-mint mark penny that is in mint condition can fetch a much higher price compared to one that has been heavily circulated. Coins in uncirculated condition are considered more valuable because they retain their original features without wear or damage. So, what's the current market value of this elusive coin? If you're lucky enough to own a 2000 no-mint mark penny in great condition, it could be worth anywhere from a few $100s to several $1,000s. However, the most exceptional pieces, especially those in near-perfect uncirculated condition, have been known to fetch tens of thousands of dollars at auction. And in some rare cases, coins that have been authenticated as mint state can be worth even more. It's important to note that while these values are impressive, the actual worth of a coin depends on factors like its grade, provenance, and the current demand within the collector community. Coin values fluctuate over time, so what's worth a few $1,000s today could potentially increase in value in the future as the coin becomes even rarer. Can this penny ever be worth $1 million? While it's unlikely that the 2000 no-mint mark penny will hit the $1 million mark anytime soon, there have been instances where coins with similar errors have sold for incredibly high prices. Coins like the 1913 Liberty Head nickel and the 1943 copper penny, both of which were produced as errors, have sold for millions of dollars at auction. However, the 2000 no-mint mark penny would need to meet certain criteria, such as being in mint-perfect condition, having a proven rarity beyond the usual era coins, and being in high demand among collectors, to even come close to such an astronomical value. But for now, It's safe to say that you might not find one of these pennies priced that high unless something extraordinary happens in the numismatic world. If you're out there looking for the 2000 no mint mark penny, there are a few tips you can use to identify it. First, 2005 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny with no mint mark. This specific penny might seem like just another coin in your pocket, but its value in the market today might surprise you. In this video, we'll explore what makes this penny unique, how its value has skyrocketed, and what you need to know if you come across one. So, if you've ever wondered about the true worth of your 2005 Lincoln penny, keep watching because you're in for an exciting discovery. First, let's take a quick look at the basic details of this coin. The 2005 Lincoln penny was part of a series that celebrated the 200th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The U.S. Mint produced multiple versions of the penny that year, each with a different design. However, one version stands out, the 2005 penny without a mint mark. To understand its value, we first need to know how the mint mark works. Most coins have a mint mark indicating where they were produced: Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. But this specific 2005 penny, without a mint mark, was produced in Philadelphia. Now, you might think that all Philadelphia pennies are the same, but this one has a unique feature. The 2005 no mint mark penny is special because it's considered a type of error coin. Although most 2005 pennies were struck with a D mint mark from Denver, this particular batch, made at the Philadelphia Mint, was released without any mint mark at all. This error is extremely rare and has captured the attention of serious coin collectors. Coin errors like this occur when the minting process doesn't go as planned, and they can make a coin more valuable. The 2005 no mint mark Lincoln penny is one of these cases, and it's part of why this coin is so sought after in the market today. Now, let's get into the juicy part: the value of this coin. When we're talking about rare coins like this one, the value can vary depending on a few factors: the coin's condition, any additional errors, and how much collectors are willing to pay. In general, a 2005 Lincoln penny without a mint mark, in good condition, can be worth anywhere from $50 to $100. That's a solid amount for a coin that most people would overlook. But wait, if you happen to find one that's in mint condition, you could be looking at a much higher value. For coins in pristine, uncirculated condition, or ones with additional rare characteristics, the price can climb much higher. Some have even been sold for over $500 in auctions. But here's where it gets really interesting. When you get into the world of error coins, prices can skyrocket. Could this 2005 penny without a mint mark really be worth millions? While most examples are valued at hundreds of dollars, the possibility of finding a penny that's worth millions isn't out of the question. The most valuable coins in history have sold for astronomical amounts, and error coins often make up a big part of those records. A well-preserved 2005 no mint mark penny that gets recognized by the right collectors or auction houses could potentially fetch a hefty price. Keep in mind, for a coin to reach the $1 million mark, it would need to be incredibly rare, in impeccable condition, and have significant historical or collectible value. At the moment, there haven't been any confirmed sales of a 2005 no mint mark Lincoln penny for $1 million, but the market is always evolving. New discoveries and coins coming up for auction can push prices higher than expected. If you think you might have a 2005 penny without a mint mark, here's how to check. Examine the front and back for any mint mark. A regular 2005 penny from the Philadelphia Mint should have no mint mark at all. The better the condition, the more valuable the coin. Look for scratches, dents, or any signs of wear. Coins in mint or near mint condition are the ones that fetch the highest prices. Sometimes, error coins can have additional characteristics that make them even rarer. Examples could include double die errors, off-center strikes, or other minting irregularities. If you think you've found something special, it's worth taking your coin to a professional coin dealer or numismatist to get an expert evaluation. The 2005 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny is one of those hidden treasures that proves how rare coins can sometimes be worth a lot more than face value. Whether you find one in a jar of loose change or are out hunting for coins, it's always good to know what to look for. The value of this coin is definitely on the rise, and while it might not reach $1 million status just yet, you never know where the market might take it. 2007 D. Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. While this penny might look like any other from its era, there's more to it than meets the eye, especially when it comes to its market value and potential worth. So, if you have a 2007 D penny sitting in your collection, or perhaps even tucked away in your pocket change, you'll want to keep watching. This penny has the potential to be worth far more than just 1 cent, and we're about to explore exactly why. Let's start with the basics. The 2007 D penny is part of the U.S. Mint's ongoing production of Lincoln 1-cent coins. The D in the mint mark signifies that this coin was produced at the Denver Mint, one of the key U.S. Mint facilities. This year, 2007, marked a special occasion, the 200th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, and to commemorate this milestone, the U.S. Mint released the first of 4 unique reverse designs in a series that paid tribute to Lincoln's life and legacy. These designs would appear on the back of the coin, celebrating different aspects of Lincoln's life, from his humble beginnings to his leadership during the Civil War. The reverse of the 2007 penny is especially significant. It features an image of the Lincoln Memorial, which was first used in 1959, along with a unique design element. For many collectors, it's not just the design that draws interest, but the rarity and condition of these coins. The 2007 D penny was produced in huge numbers, yet certain factors can make this coin stand out in the marketplace. Now, what makes this penny worth more than its face value? As with most collectible coins, the key factor in determining its value is its grade. This refers to the condition of the coin, ranging from good to mint state, and sometimes even higher classifications such as proof or deep cameo. In general, the 2007 D Lincoln penny is fairly common in lower grades. In good or very fine conditions, you're looking at a coin worth close to its face value, maybe a few cents more depending on the demand. However, once you start looking at higher grade coins, such as those in uncirculated or mint state condition, the value begins to rise. For example, a 2007 D penny in mint state 65 or higher, graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, can fetch anywhere from a few dollars to over $20, depending on the market. But here's where things get really interesting. Coins with unique characteristics or special errors, such as double die averse or unusual die breaks, can significantly increase in value. Errors, such as off-center strikes, doubled lettering, or unusual die cracks, are highly sought after by collectors. These types of errors can transform an otherwise ordinary penny into a highly prized rarity. For instance, a 2007 D penny with a visible double die error could potentially sell for hundreds, or even thousands, of dollars. It's important to note that these high-value coins are not the norm. The vast majority of 2007 D pennies will not be worth much beyond their face value. However, with a little research and a keen eye, you could be lucky enough to find one of these rare and valuable specimens. As we take a look at the current market, most 2007 D pennies in average circulated condition are worth just 1 to 5 cents. In higher uncirculated grades, the value climbs to around $1 to $5. But where things get really exciting is when you start looking at coins that have been graded at MS 65 or higher, as they can sometimes fetch up to $20 to $50, depending on the condition. So, can a 2007 D penny ever be worth $1 million? While it's highly unlikely, the possibility is always there, especially if a particularly rare error is discovered. Coins with unique characteristics, such as the 2007 D with a major minting flaw, have been known to attract significant interest from collectors and investors. The world of coin collecting is filled with passionate collectors, investors, and numismatists who constantly search for rare and valuable coins. While the 2007 D Abraham Lincoln penny isn't likely to reach the $1 million mark, it's a perfect example of how small differences, such as the minting location, design variations, or even simple errors, can make a coin much more valuable than you might expect. So, if you have a 2007 D Lincoln penny in your collection, take a closer look. It might just be worth more than you think, especially if it's in pristine condition or features a rare error. Keep in mind, though, that a coin's true value comes from its rarity, condition, and demand on the market.